Here are 10 businesses that I would start today. I'm going to give you 10 businesses and I'm going to say why I would start them and what my thinking is before I start a business. Me and my wife, we're business partners in every business that we have, and we always go through different criteria when accepting a business to pursue. So today I'm going to give you 10 that when we talked, we said, what 10 businesses that I can give my subscribers right now? What are 10 businesses that we would start right now? If our main business wasn't doing so good, what if we had to start from zero? No business. What would we do right now? What are the 10 businesses that we would really think strongly about starting? Number one is an insurance agency. I own an insurance agency right now. It's a great business, recurring revenue. It can be sold. So obviously, number one is an insurance agency. I own Wexford Insurance. That's my main business. That's where I bring in the lion's share of my money, the business that I'll be able to sell someday. That is Wexford Insurance. That is my insurance agency. Number two is YouTube monetization. Okay, I said YouTube monetization. I make money from YouTube. Transparently, I make anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a month off of doing this, off of posting videos, creating value, showing people how to start businesses, showing people how to scale their business, what business ideas should they start, how to grow a business, how to become a leader, how to become an entrepreneur, how to change your mindset. That's the type of content that I make, and I add value. I've grown subscribers. I'm up to, when I'm filming this video, almost 9,000 subs, and I make $1,500 to $2,000 a month. So I'm making anywhere from 20 to 24 grand a year. When I first started this YouTube channel, I said to my wife, I'm just going to do it for a whole year. I'm going to post a lot of content, and at the end of the year, I'm going to say, what am I making every month? Is it worth continuing to do? Not all businesses are worth continuing to do if you don't see the end game. So far, a little over a year in, and I'm making this much a month. To me, it really makes sense for me to continue because I'm only at 9,000 subs and I'm making pretty good money. Now, this isn't money that I budget in. It's just extra blow money. I don't really need it, but it's nice to have another $1,500 to $2,000 that I can save and go and invest. So transparently, that's how much I make on YouTube, and I'm assuming that will continue to go up as my subscribers go up and I get better at adding value to everybody. Number three is a lead company. This is the newest company that I started. I'm not going to tell you the name of it, and I'm not going to leave out the details because I am going to tease you a little bit that I will be announcing what this company name is and how I came up with the idea and what the money is doing so far. I'm going to give it another week or two before I tease that video. So once you're watching this video, it'll probably be out in a week or two. So like and subscribe if you want to know what company I just started. But a lead company. So in a specific industry, I will be helping companies acquire new business. So what I will be doing is I will be selling them leads that my company has produced for $20, $30, or $50 depending on the type of lead. Okay? So if my company can generate a lot of leads and we can connect with that specific businesses in that industry, we can continue to sell leads to those companies. So they're essentially outsourcing their sales to my company at a lead acquisition cost, okay? And insurance, there's lead companies that do this. So for like a home and auto lead, it can be $10 or $15. For a business insurance lead, it could be $30, $40. We don't do that. We produce our own leads, but there's agencies that say, hey, it's easier for me to buy the lead, and if I make $400 on the account when it costs me $30, that's a lot cheaper than me trying to do it myself. So lead companies help companies grow their business by providing them sales and leads so they don't have to go out and do it themselves. You can make a lot of money in this company. So I will tease that and I will say, hey, I'll have more on this and how you can kind of start one pretty soon. Number four, virtual assistant agency or virtual assistant service as like a back office solution. Okay, so two ways you can run this company. You can wholesale virtual assistants. That means you go find a VA or find a VA company overseas. The VA will cost $600 a month. You charge your client $900 to $1,000 a month. You wholesale that, you provide that client the virtual assistant, the client pays you, you pay the virtual assistant, you cash flow the difference. Okay, that's wholesaling a VA. Virtual assistant as a service, like a back office solution, is you go tell clients, like a contractor, right? Let's think of a contractor and you say, hey, we're going to do your estimates, your bids, your marketing, we're going to do this, this, and this, and you pay us $400 a month or $500 a month or $200 a month, whatever it is, and then you have a team of virtual assistants on your company that does the work for you. So as long as you can get 2 to 3, 4 clients or 5 clients per VA, you're making that cash flow there. So whichever way you want to do it, That's a great business because it's recurring revenue and it can be literally done anywhere in the world. Okay, you can literally do that business anywhere in the world. Number 6 is bookkeeping. Okay, the reason I like bookkeeping is because there's recurring revenue, pay every month for somebody to keep your books, and there's stickiness involved. And a lot of people don't talk about client stickiness. What client stickiness is, you know how to do what I expect, and I can't readily go get somebody else to do it, and I don't want to take the risk that somebody else might screw it up. Okay, so if someone's doing my books and they're doing a great job, unless they're just being lazy and they're not doing it, I'm going to stay with that bookkeeper because they understand my business and they've answered questions. They know where my numbers are. So I'm not just going to hop to another company. So to grow a bookkeeping business may be a little bit harder, a little bit longer process. But once you have your clients, those clients won't leave you and you're going to continue to print money year or month after month. Number 6, along the same lines, and this is a very interesting business idea, I haven't talked about it, is outsourced CFOs, outsourced management teams, outsourced fractional talent. Okay, so let me explain this. Let's say you own a business and you're growing that business. It's very successful. You're starting to bring in a lot of money. And you're like, you know what? I need somebody to really tell me where we need to invest. I need a consultant. I need somebody on my team that has been there and grown a business that can almost be a mentor for me. Okay, so what this business will do is, you're essentially, that business that's still growing may not be able to pay a full-time CFO. Full-time CFO is probably around $200,000 to $400,000 a year. So let's say your business is doing $750,000 or $1 million or $2 million, right? You're not going to pay that. It's insane. And if you're not going to pay that, then you're not going to get great talent. So what this business does is we go find people who were used to be CFOs or current CFOs, and we say, hey, we're going to pay you $300,000, and then you go find clients that are able to pay a CFO $50,000 to $75,000. That CFO can probably be a CFO because it's not going to take as much time because the businesses are smaller, for maybe 10 to 20 companies. And maybe you can have a revenue share with that CFO and say, hey, whatever companies you manage, you get this percentage. So you're essentially fractioning out yourself or fractioning out a person that you hired. Now, this is a very capital intensive, because if you hire somebody for $300,000, you better have at least 5 to 10 companies that are ready to use the service. Okay, so fractional management, fractional, like an operations person, a tech manager or tech company, some sort of management member that you can fraction out and make great money on. There's a lot of companies that do this, and there's a lot of different niches that if you understand the niche, you could potentially start a fractional hiring business where you can fraction out talent. So you're getting somebody who's really good at 1/5 of the cost, 1/4 of the cost. So as a company, a small company, saying, hey, I'm not getting them all the time, but at least I'm getting better quality. People want to pay for quality. Number 7 is a staffing firm for specialty careers. Okay, so you think of the healthcare industry, specific chemists, clinical trials, doctors, physicians, different specialties, that your staffing company can have clients that are hospitals, that are labs, and you say, look, I understand it's very hard for you to go find talent. And sometimes talent doesn't work out. It's a long relationship. We're a staffing company. You pay us. We pay the employee. It's a year contract. After the year contract, if you don't want to keep the individual, then that's fine. We can place that individual somewhere else. It's a way for them to say, I maybe don't need somebody for a year or more than a year, more than 2 years. So we can go find that talent. We charge more than what we're paying that person. And then you're making money every hour that person works. So if it's 40 hours and you're making $5 an hour of that person, then you're continuing to multiply people. You can also do recruiting where they're saying, hey, if you can bring me talent, so instead of me paying an HR person who's going to continue to potentially fail at your company to find talent, you pay me a percentage of the salary. Okay, so if the salary is $100,000 and you're going to pay me 5%, if I can go find that person, I make $5,000. So if I can place 10 people in a month, you make $50,000. Okay, staffing companies, I would suggest that if you come from a hiring, firing, or HR somewhat background, this is a business that you could start to make a ton of money. Staffing companies make so much money, it's insane. Okay, number 8, wholesaling niche products. I hate calling this drop shipping because when I say drop shipping, people go away from the video because they think so many people have oversold the idea of drop shipping. Not saying drop shipping. I'm saying wholesaling niche products, okay? Let me provide an example, okay? Let's say you're in the trucking industry, the dump trucking industry, and there's a tarp that goes above the bed of the dump truck that holds the gravel. So gravel doesn't go off and hit somebody in the car, and then the person calls the dump truck company and says, you need to replace my windshield. It costs you $300 to $400, okay? The tarp goes there so the rocks don't fall off. But sometimes the tarps get old, they tear. So I know an individual who drop ships and wholesales tarps for dump trucks. I mean, it's such a niche, and he has a manufacturer that he's connected with, and he is able to, he probably charges more than what the manufacturer, or he has an agreement with them or something. I don't know. But he makes money off of wholesaling. He doesn't make the product. He essentially is a manufacturer's sales rep with his own company, and he makes money doing that. So there's so many different ways in which you can make money in business, and especially wholesaling a niche product that you're in. So a lot of people are like, I don't know what business to start. I'm like, look around at your current area. There's probably something within literally the company or associated company or the industry that you're in that there's a business idea. Very, wholesaling niche products, you have to get in front of people that are buying that product and have them buy it through you. Number 9 is a wedding venue. I love wedding venues because weddings are never going to go away. The cost of weddings continue to go up with inflation and everything. People want to spend money on their big day. And right now, it's never been easier to start a wedding venue because people aren't getting married in churches. They want to get married in barns. They want to get married in upscale environments. Maybe even I had a friend who got married in an old house that was kind of like a mansion, right? And he got married in like a courtyard. So the availability of wedding venues are not the way it was in the past. You could literally build something interesting and people will get married there and they will pay you 10, 15 grand at the high end, 20, 30 grand, very high end, 50 grand. But on normal wedding venues, I would say people may pay $5,000 to $10,000. And if you have 2 a weekend, I mean, even if you built something on your property, if you had some property, you can make some really good money there. So I like wedding venues because once you build it, it's almost like a real estate play. If the numbers make sense and you can rent it out and maybe even add a winery and maybe add, your own kind of brand label alcohol or wine, then you can really make money in the wedding venue industry. Number 10, the last business, and we wanted to put one in the contracting space because we really believe that in the contracting space, if you do what you say we're going to do, you'll have so much clients that it's insane. I have friends that are in contracting businesses and they do a great job, so they continue to grow. So that's just how it works. So this business is the pool service business. So pool cleaning. The reason I like pool cleaning is because there's recurring revenue, okay? You're going to pay me to clean your pool monthly or weekly, whenever I clean it, whatever we agree upon, and you're going to continue to pay me, and if I do a good job, you're going to pay me every year. So if I get a number of pools, I add it to my portfolio, I continue to add employees, there's recurring revenue there. Very few times are people going to kind of switch up unless somebody comes in with a crazy low price, but a lot of times, somebody has a pool, they probably have money. So that means that they're looking for somebody they trust who's going to be in their backyard, and they're looking for somebody who's going to do the job right. So if you can do the job right, you're trustworthy, you show up, you do what you say you're going to do, you can literally build a massive pool route and really scale that company, and you have recurring revenue and you have clients. And if you can add a little bit of remodeling and maybe even install some new pools, you can make really good money in this business. So I really like that just because of the recurring revenue aspect of it. So as you see, most of these businesses, I like businesses that I can work from home. All my businesses I run virtual. I had an office. We didn't want to have we had the office, and then our employees wanted to work from remote. So we were like, why do we have this office? So I like businesses that I can operate anywhere because I want to be able to go to Florida, California, Arizona, and be able to operate that business. I also believe in businesses that have recurring revenue. I believe in businesses that don't require a ton of capital. All the businesses that I mentioned here, except for the wedding venue, there is very minimal capital intensive business to start. Very minimal. I like businesses. I have money. I can go pay a lot of capital to go start a business, but I don't want to do that because you're putting capital at risk. And there's so many businesses that you can start that don't require a lot of capital to where you can start that business, and if it doesn't work out, not because of a lack of effort, not because you didn't follow through, not because you didn't try, you didn't do everything you could to make that business start, but some businesses just don't make sense for you to continue. well, you're not really giving up that much. You're not giving up a ton of capital that you put into it. A lot of people get into these businesses where they get a big loan, so they're tied to it until that loan's paid off, and they're literally enslaved to that business. So I never want to do that. I want to be able to get in, and if it's a great business, stay in there, and then take my money, make it profitable, and invest that money. And that's what I think business is. It's about profit, getting that money back, making more money as a business owner than you could as an employee, investing that money. So if you like today's video, please hit like and subscribe. Thanks.